under, because we're on top of Roman walls. Inside, outside, maybe this was the street, or the road, or the square, or the room, and that was the room, or the street, I mean, but it's the same walls. And this is how works the brain of an Italian. We're not stupid.
Again, the years?
What?
What years?
1 year ago, almost, the late 1500s. 1500s for the facade, when they moved the pieces from the 1400s about the entire building, and then 1200s for this house, like 1200s is for that house, and Roman times under means 2 centuries after Christ. And I even said that's how Cortona works, and how works the Reign of an Italian. We are not stupid. It's just too many things inside. It's too complicated. You know the word pasta? Oh, you think you speak Italian. Oh, pasta. Only for the word pasta, then you have different types. But for the main word, you have pastina, pastona, pastuccia, pastarella, pastaccia, pastuccina, pastarellina, pastarellozza, pastarellata, pastarella, pastafrolla, pasticcina, pastarella, pastarecchio, pastoccia, pastaccia, pastecchio. It depends if it's little, big, smooth, rough. Okay. End of the introduction. Let's cross the square. So I would like to walk a little uphill to show you this little detail about the Etruscans, and then we go into the museum. If you want to follow my plan. If not, you do what you want. Did you see the cheap movie Under Tuscan Sun?
No, we didn't.
We're supposed
Some of
to.
them did.
Okay, well, this is the
supposed
square of Christmas with the snow, with salt, by the way, fake snow for 2 months, for 40 seconds of scene. You see people singing in the steps, we never do. Nativity with real people, we never do. I work for the movies, I covered and make it was fun. We went to Los Angeles to see the premiere. I walked in the red carpet with Diane Lane, it was fun, but the movie, it was chick flick, right? At least it was a short chick flick. One day after the English Patient, Jesus, 2 hours and a half, he's never dying. I want to jump in the screen and joking. So, you know, this is the city hall, you saw already, it's not a church. May I tell you something funny really happened here? Can't you see on the office of the mayor 2 flags, Italy and Europe? I gave the tour to the US ambassador years ago. It was the times of the war in Iraq. It was a 3rd flag, the peace flag. The peace flag is an Italian idea. It's a rainbow colored flag with peace, pace written on, and it was there against the war in Iraq. But the ambassador didn't know. So imagine the ambience. I was here with the bishop, the mayor, the bodyguards, and I was talking about the towers. And he said, but Giovanni, why is the gay pride flag on the town hall? Oh, I look at the mayor, he said, like, don't talk about the war, you know. Oh, well, because it's the mayor, but we like him, so what? One morning, the gay mayor. It's called improvisation. I mean, he was trying to fix the situation. This is my wife, I'll introduce you my wife, you know. I mean, it's okay, but it was not. Be ready. In this country, there is jokes for everybody, no discount. You're a tourist, I'm an Italian, big nose, priest, this for everybody. And something else really important. The main reason why Cortona is peculiar is because this usual mix of Middle Ages, Renaissance is still inside the ring of the Etruscan walls. The big stones are all over, are still making a big hug. People, they have personality. All the distances between the buildings, the square is always the square. People, they are so arrogant and crazy here because they are inside the walls. It's a beautiful frame. Even from US, I know 4 bipolars from US. They decide to stay in Cortona for making a living. You know why? Because after being naked in the street and talking to the birds, you can sit in the cafe, few jokes, a little discount, and you're welcome. Because it's the walls around. People are rude. Last week was a lady, excuse me, what is Via Nazionale? And the man said, if you know the streets, why don't you stay home? Yeah, it's so mean. They are proud to be in Cortona, who cares? Watch out in the restaurants. I saw people kick out. There was a lady keep complaining about the Florentine steak, medium cooked, half cooked, well cooked, and the chef said, look, can't you see over there? No, what? There is another restaurant. Why don't you go there? You eat the Florentine steak in the way it's supposed it's done, not in the way you want. So listen, the museum is over there. Yeah, this is your first time sitting up there. We don't walk that far, but few alleys, and it's about the Etruscans, so after would be nice to see the museum. It's okay. One is not walking, one is kind of.
Where's Annika?
Oh, don't scare me like that, Ken.
I have a daughter, 9 years old. She hates to walk with me, so I hope you're a little better than that. But she's a mean girl. When she was 4 or 5, I was trying to play songs for kids, you know, like if you're really happy, you know, clap your hands. She was more like this. She liked AC/DC and Led Zeppelin. She's jumping on the sofa. Come on, love me for the money. Come on.
He is funny.
Any lawyer in the group?
No.
These white spots are really important. If a car hits you here, you die, and it's your fault. If a car hits you here, you die anyhow, but you leave money to the kids. This is the walkway and this is the street. So if a car hits you here, do this. And you take money from the insurance company.
That is too funny.
Good information. Here, you won't want.
We might needed to know that.
It's really important.
Yeah, the walkway in the street is kind of
It's so
confusing.
beautiful the colors there. It's painted now, you know, but that should be like that. The Renaissance building. Actually, the curves are from the Middle Ages. That's a twisted road. I mean, it's doing curves on purpose against the arrows of the enemies. And that's a little street with all the restaurants, 7, 8. Some are rustic, some are too rustic. There is one at the end, it's called fruit, because he has one fruit. And a lady said, what do you have as a second course? And he said, in my restaurant, you order the second after the first. First the first. You know, you have 2 numbers, don't make a mess. First the first, second the second. Okay, let's wait for the cars. This is the Croce del Travaglio, means crossroad of troubles. Every city had one, Siena a famous one. Just like Siena, we were cut into 3 thirds. So this is where the thirds were making barricades. 3 stones on each other, fighting. So this is the dangerous crossroad of the city. But even another city has that. Okay, we need to go over there.
You see this pizzeria right here?
That's the best pizza of Cortona.
Second best.
Which is the best? Which one is the best?
Well, we had lunch today.
You think?
Yes.
Because that's where you had lunch is new. I don't know about that restaurant.
The chef there used to be the chef here.
Oh, well then that's why it was okay. Oh, okay, I didn't know because that's pretty new, the restaurant there. So you think it's good, the pizza there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, it
the
was
rest of the food is okay, standard. But the pizza was really good. So if it's the same chef, then okay.
This is where Massimo used to cook when I
You
was.
don't eat bad in Cortona. The worst is standard, but it's pretty good. What we did in Italy for food, I think, is really good. Since the 70s, wine, I mean, the quality of the ingredients, we eat well. Other things are tragic, like traffic is, my God. Trying to say Fiat company with rolling of cars all over. You know, you can be a prince in the middle of the road, and when a car is passing by, you squeeze on the side of the road. The Fiat is keeping your quality of life down. Okay, we did this. And everything is Fiat. Lancia is Fiat, Alfa Romeo is Fiat, Fiat is Fiat, Maserati is Fiat, Ferrari is Fiat. They bought Chrysler. Be ready, you will be soon invaded by little cheap cars that don't work like a virus. I mean, they look okay, the engine is okay, but when you turn the radio on and the window goes down, it's in your mirror. So I'm taking a shortcut and then I'll show you it and then we'll come back. And when my great-grandfather lost the house of the family, my father said he came to live here where the restaurant is.
Oh, pretty.
And here I restored the doors and the windows, blah, blah, blah. He said I was keep cleaning the doors were mine for somebody else. That's really bad. Okay, let's do this alley with no car. As long as Fiat doesn't invent something that fits.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, I was afraid of the rain, but it's getting better, so maybe. But still, it's nice.
Is there a bakery here?
Yep. Did you come here already?
No, when I was a student.
Oh,
I used to come through here.
And the owner is really mean. For years, there was a sign that says, "We don't sell bread nighttime, even if you do insist." Because people were bothering him in the night for buy fresh bread. You know, say, no. It's over here.
This is me.
It was you, Ken.
Do you remember the entrances we saw, Little and Big? Look, more or less, it's always the same situation. Maybe they changed the stones, but Little and Big. Little up above the ground and Big. You can see 2 cracks here. Was a little one and a big one. A little one now is down. A little one now is a window. A little one now is closed. These were the entrances. For be comfortable, you turn the entrance down, but then it's too vertical space, so you put a little window up there. And the steps are always really steep for defense. And if you got space, like a tower, from the right to the left, always, because the enemy needs the right to hold on the hand, and the owner has the right free for the sword, and no left-handed. If they see you riding with the sinistra, this is the hand of the devil.
I guess I'm a devil.
Don't tell the priest.
My son too. Tony, he loved it.
You know what I saw in Monte Pulciano? Really scary. I saw the real piece of wood where for centuries we were chopping heads and heads. What it was really gross was not the cats in the middle. It was cats all over. There was, I mean, they were missing the head or what? Don't move the hand. Let's try again. I mean, the cats were all over the piece. Gross. I was expecting big cats in the middle. This is the. Well, in what year did you come?
86.
Oh, old. You kind of not young anymore. Came in 94. Cortona is a great example of the Grand Tour. Since the 1700s, yes, people were coming in Cortona, living in Cortona from other countries. We have an English community near here, before the book of Francis Mays, Andre Tascanzan, you know. And the Georgia program is part of this now. It's like 40 years they're coming every year. So it's like, if you come, many of the foreigners that you saw in the square, in the cafes, they are from Cortona, in the sense they have the house here, they come back every year, second generation. If you kick foreigners out, you will miss in 20-30% of Cortona. And my wife too. And that could be an idea. I never thought about that. You give me ideas today. And this is an historical toilet. First shelf is from the Middle Ages, second one is Renaissance, third one is new. So before, until World War II, nobody had the bathroom inside the house. The only way is to fill up an alley or to build a little cabinet sticking out. And no pipes, in the street. Siena was a clean city. 1200s was already his rule. You cannot throw the dirty bucket out of the basket, out of the toilet, if you don't say first, guarda, guarda. That means, watch out. And after you can. Sometimes we had the plague, that's why. And paradise is not with your mom forever. It's under the fig tree. In your private garden, figs are mature in September, you read the pecorino cheese, wine, that's paradise, and not just with your relatives the entire eternity. You know the first thing was a fig, it was not an apple. The Bible said fruit, generical, but all through the Middle Ages, you see Adam and Eve under the fig tree, and Adam is picking the fig. Then in the Renaissance, they changed the fig into the apple because of Northern tradition. But they kept the fig leaf down here, by the way. Try to cover that with the leaf from the apple tree. Imagine how many leaves they tried. No, let's leave the old one. Okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever. You see the kids' shorts up there hanging on the clothesline back there? Behind the
Watch
picture?
out.
Woo!
So, this is why we're here. I told you in the beginning, Cortona is a big mix of Middle Ages and Renaissance. Middle Ages, by the way, the little house, late Renaissance, the yellow building. But this mix is not only inside the ring of the Etruscan walls, it's on top of the ruins of the Etruscan city. It is not easy to see everything because it's in somebody else's house, but I have an example here. Better one than nothing. So follow me and I'll show you how this building is using a piece of an Etruscan wall.
You have to walk here.
It's not that far, you can walk. They rent is half from US usually. And so you have US laundry right there. Different style.
There's laundry stuff.
Come inside. Once everybody's in, I'll close the gate and the new bench.
This would be perfect for your screws.
Yeah.
And for example, they killed the one killing the Savonarola because in another execution it was that bad and the boy was suffering so much that people killed the man because it was too bad, very drunk, you know. Oh well.
Ken, this is
no,
perfect.
The only thing, don't walk on top of the stones here because it's part of the archaeological excavation and the rest you can do what you want. I mean,
Stay close.
Kelly, you gotta get a picture of me over
inside,
there.
walking on stones,
it's just
Stella.
flies and mosquitoes.
You're walking on stones.
If you
Annika,
like
on stones.
flies and mosquitoes, that's okay. Listen, briefly, this is what it is. That's why it's a good example. Until a few years ago, this was just the floor high like this, was the storage of the building, bikes, garbage. The floor was high like the terrace. and the plaster was all broken. Through the plaster broken up there, they could see already big stones coming out. Then it's the city. The city bought the space. Serious archaeological excavation. They went until this level here. You can go deeper inside, but they stopped. And they stopped because they found an alley from the Middle Ages. Actually, they stopped because they finished the money too. But that's an alley from Middle Ages. The money, I mean, they stopped because they finished the money. But even because they found this little alley, the yellow there was not there, so it was an alley coming here. We were on the outside before the building. They found this drainage for water covered with stones we still need to study. And most of all, taking off the plaster on this side, they found like 9-10 meters of an Etruscan wall, making a big curve, keep going into the building, making a big arch, going into a cave blind. Oh, they can go, it's okay, but it's just flies and mosquitoes, so it's not that cool. But they can go.
The cave, I saw the seal thing.
So, it's an arch going into a hole in the
I think
mountain.
so.
So, you know what it is?
All the same to Margaritas.
No, you want to laugh first? This is the director of the museum that you will see. He's such an idiot here, no idea. He's the son of the director before, that's it. So when they found out about this, I asked him, oh, Mr. Director, what do you think this could be, you know? This is the answer. Oh, Giovanni, look at this curve. If you see the map of Cortona, there is a street in front where we just were, by the way, that is doing the opposite curve. The two together could be a piece of the Roman amphitheater. And this could be the entrance for the amphitheater. I said, excuse me, Herr Professor, but if the entrance is going into a cave blind, no way out, did they have the helicopter to go to the amphitheater? And he said, this is the academic he studied. No, Giovanni, the cave is made later. You are an idiot. I mean, later or sooner, doesn't change. Try to get out. You will hit your face a lot. But the boom is the rock. No exit, no entrance. The only thing that can come out is water. At the end of the stones, you can see there is a spring. After almost 3,000 years, it's almost dry. But this was an exit for water. So in the worst case, you saw a piece of the Roman aqueduct. I told you Etruscan, but Rome took this area 4 centuries BC. This is 2 centuries BC. And the industrial way, not the invention, but the industrial way to use arches all over is always Roman, more Roman than Etruscan. So Etruscans, but Roman times. But it's too big and fancy for the exit for the aqueduct. So what they think now, the Etruscans, they always had the cult of the waters, the holy spring. Sometimes before a city, they want the spring for the cult of the holy waters. So this could be the one. So maybe those are the fragments of something made before by the Etruscans, used later by the Romans, took over the drainage, when they made this restoration celebration of the exit. And for me, it's just an excuse to show you how the building is using this dry stone wall. Just like the walls outside the city, no concrete or cement, there is just a little bit of sand between one stone and the other one. Big stones, eh?
Okay.
But they had time. Time, slaves, no unions. You can build a pyramid with no unions. Okay, so you can stay here, you will age well like the cheese, and we're getting out, okay? So farewell, it was a pleasure.
Then you guys are like, what?
Wait, I have another introduction. When we talk about the Etruscans and the Romans, don't think we have this past that this is about us. Easily, 2,000 years ago, my genes, my DNA was in Spain or Middle East, and you were much closer to the Romans or the Etruscans than what I was. Could be more about you than about me. So you're responsible too for the street mess we have with the hope. I mean, this is our past.
No walking on the stones.
In terms